For our club profile of the week, we head to Sydney, a cosmopolitan city surrounded by miles of ocean coastline. We're here to visit the Randwick Petersham Cricket Club, a cricketing establishment that was born out of not one or two, but three separate Sydney grade clubs in 2001. The collective lifespan of those founding clubs amounts to an impressive 255 playing years, giving Randwick Petersham the claim of being one of the oldest clubs in Australia. We caught up with the club's Director of Cricket Operations at Coogee Oval to trace the roots of the club.
The Randwick Petersham Club was in fact born out of three foundation clubs. It was born out of the Petersham and Marrickville clubs, which became Petersham Marrickville, and then the Randwick Club. And there were a whole lot of reasons for that, but in the main, it was that they're inner city clubs and were starting to get squeezed for juniors, so the amalgamation made sense. The colours were very similar, green and white and green and gold. So putting all of that together, the clubs amalgamated, and that's been a terrific arrangement for our club. I think it's made us exceptionally successful and highly respected.
The club has an impressive array of squads under its belt, fielding teams of grades 1 to 5 for the Sydney grade cricket competition. It's also produced its own under-16 and under-21 teams to compete for the junior local tournaments, namely the Poitevin Grey Shield and Alfred William Green Shield. Huge efforts go into training these teams for matches, such as regularly maintaining the club's 4 main pitches.
Our club's got fantastic facilities. We've got Coogee Oval here, which is a rugby ground in the winter and then a cricket ground in the summer, but it's an outstanding facility, a really good wicket for batters and a fast outfield, particularly after Christmas when we get that Australian summer on the surface. We've also got Petersham Oval as our second first grade ground. We've got Snape Park and Kensington for our lower grade, so we're very well serviced there.
With such dedication, it's little surprise that the establishment has gone on to produce phenomenal performances and become one of the top clubs in Sydney grade cricket.
I think our results in our first 13 years are unbelievable. We've won every single thing in the 5 grades except the 2-day competition, the main competition, the Belvedere Cup. In first grade, we played in a couple of finals but lost them, and we'd already won 2 club championships in our first 10 years. Some clubs have waited decades to win a club championship.
The club has also produced some well-known players who've received the national call-up, from its president Mike Whitney to Simon Kadich, and more recently Usman Khawaja. Several other big names from overseas have also sported the club's badge, namely West Indies fast bowler Wes Hall, former England captain Nasser Hussain, and spinner Monty Panesar.
I think our success can be based on a couple of things. It's a well-administered club, I believe. We've got a very good president in Michael Whitney. We've got a good administration, good committee, good sponsors. So all of those factors come together, I think, make for a well-managed club, which naturally attracts players.
Despite the big names, the club remains focused in its goal to prepare each player not just to be a better cricketer, but also to be a better person as a whole.
Trust, respect and humility. I'm continually hammering that into the players every time I see them. Trust, respect and humility. There's not enough of that out in society, so if we can get young blokes to come along, understand that if you adopt those principles, you're going to be a better person in the community, you're going to be a great person to have in the club, and we want you to stay for the rest of your life.
Indeed, the club's strong sense of community spirit has always kept Randwick Petersham's members looking out for one another, especially in terms of personal welfare. It's no wonder members stay loyal and maintain strong relations with the club.
God, I think it's about 8 years ago now. I was playing back up where I grew up on the Central Coast, and I was looking to move down here to study, and a mate of mine up there who previously played for this club sort of put me in contact with one of the recruiting managers, and he came up and saw me and offered to sort of bring me down to the club and help me out with finding a job and a place to stay and all that, and it sort of all went from there, I guess.
Just the type of blokes that are around. Doesn't bother you whether you're playing 5th grade or 1st grade. You just know whenever you turn up to training in the game that you're going to have a good time playing with mates on and off the field. It's just a good time.
In 2013, Randwick Petersham became the first club in Sydney to win a second domestic 2020 Cup title in 3 years. Even with that impressive victory, the club refuses to rest on its laurels and is determined to carve out a prestigious stature for its future.
My vision, and I'm pretty sure the vision of most people involved with Randwick Petersham cricket, is to be the best grade cricket club anywhere in the world. I mean, we've still got a bit of work to do here in Sydney. There's some very, very good clubs. We're always trying to push the bar a little higher. I mean, you can't just take your foot off the gas and step on the brake. We need to keep expanding and doing things correctly.